I think we're live. I'll wait for you guys to start to come on. Hi, it's Weekend Wind Down with Nancy. I'm a business coach to interior designers and creative entrepreneurs, online coaches, etc. Welcome, everyone. I'm kind of happy we made it on today. Hi, Joe. Hi, Darcy. Hi, Kaden. Well, you guys are flying on. There is so much bad weather going on in New York. No, Ian, they're the same glasses. Hi, Kim. It is blustery. Hi, Stephen. Hi, C. Hi, Sheila. It is so blustery here in New York. There are people in my town who have no power. I flickered a little bit before. Hi, Nicole. And I was like, uh-oh, I hope I keep my power. But either way, I'm doing Weekend Wind Down from my phone, and I'll do it in the dark. I'm going to bring my guest on soon, Nicole Heimer from Curio. She does websites and branding, and I put her information in the link. Hi, Katja. Hi, Emily. So today I'm drinking Stag's Leap Chardonnay. It's always backwards. I got to figure out a way to fix that. So welcome everyone to Weekend Wind Down. Cheers on this blustery day in New York. We're having a nor'easter. I'm just so happy. Hi, Julie. I'm just so happy it's not snow. And I tell you, 30 inches of snow actually makes me cry because I have a 100-foot driveway and I don't have a snowblower anymore. And I just can't take it. So let me bring on a guest today. We're going to talk about branding and websites and how important it is to your business and your company and your visibility. If this works, cross your fingers and toes. I know Nicole stayed in her office for me today instead of going home to hopefully have a smoother broadcast here. So let's see if this happens. So let me check my homepage. Thank you, Kaden. Oh, you made it.
I can't believe I did that right. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just checking. So Curio Electro is the name of your company, and I put a link.
Thank you.
There for everyone. So tell everyone, well, first tell everyone how the weather is there and if you're having a drink with me.
I can't even tell you how much I wish I was having a freaking drink with you. I'm having seltzer.
Oh,
Seltzer.
okay. That's okay. I know you're still in the office.
Yeah. How's the weather here? It's not great. It's not great. I drove to the office this morning in like dicey conditions because my husband and I talked about it, and the thought of me working at home with him with the kids was like, it's better that I sleep here tonight if that were like that would
Oh
be
my
better.
God, are you really going to do that?
No, I'm not.
No.
But like we were
You
like
hope
that
not.
would actually be like okay compared to like him keeping the kids out of the room with me working. So yeah, no, I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be okay.
Good.
Yes.
All right, let me just say, and Darcy's like, no, Nicole. Okay, so everyone, do me a favor. We're going to be talking about branding and websites, so please share the broadcast if you have friends on your list that are entrepreneurs, because this is going to be important stuff. And before we even get started with that, as Joe Hecker says, sharing is caring. So share the broadcast. We'd love to reach as many people as possible for a Weekend Wind Down with Nancy and Nicole today. But I don't know if you got your copy, but look what I have.
I did.
It's so good. We got to tag. I got to tag Luann in this broadcast. So I started to read. I was up.
Oh my God, I have it right here too. Hi.
Oh, see that? See, we got to tag Luann. Somebody tag Luann so she can see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I woke up at 4:00 in the morning and I said, oh
my God.
Let me read. And I know it's crazy. I don't know why my body's doing this. Normally I do 6:30, but for some reason it's been 4:30 lately. So
early bird worms. So how far did you get into it? It's good, right?
It's really good. I'm up to, not too far. I read kind of slow, especially early in the morning. But I read the forward and I'm up to chapter 3 and I love it. Hi, Keith. Hi, Diana. You know what? It's great. It's just, listen, if I could just even just share some of the chapters, it's all great stuff of what anyone who's running a business needs to, even if you've been running a business for a long time, refresh your memory as to what things you need to have in place to run a successful business. This is what I help people with as a business coach. And I just love the way Luann laid it out, simple but detailed enough where people will be taking notes, and they should be doing a lot, if not all of what she's saying, depending on the business. So yeah. Chapter 1, establish your company mission and core values. Chapter 2, your dream team. Chapter 3, be a systems freak. Love the name of that chapter.
It's a great chapter.
Anyway,
it's an amazing chapter. Yeah.
It is. So anyway, so if you guys haven't got it yet, go get it on Amazon. I actually have a link somewhere. If I don't get it in there during this broadcast, I will put it in afterwards. So come down and
You know
check.
You know what I love about it is, and I'm also, maybe I'm like halfway through it, but you know, like those of us who are in the online world, like there's like a lot of the same sort of like advice for like, you know, how to get your name out, blah, blah, blah. And it's just got like some good old fashioned, like real, like get to know the people at your bank kind of advice that, like,
you know, it's so funny. I thought the same thing. The people at the bank don't know me. I'm copying and pasting while I'm talking to you because I do everything online. So easy to get stuck in this online deposit your checks through your phone world.
Right.
And I think she's right. Like, kind of some things you need to get back to basics, right?
You know what's funny? So, like, I actually do know the people at my bank because I do go in sometimes, and even through the drive-through, I know them. And the one day I was talking about their email blasts as an example of something to Luann when we were working on her site, and I was like, you know, Virginia Green from First Hope, and she was like, oh, we do all their window treatments. My bank. Like my like
really
yeah, like just coincidentally, like she does all their window treatments, and yes, they are warm and homey, and that is what they wanted. But anyway.
Yep. That was a great tip. I have my tripod wrapped around my computer, so I can't see when I'm trying to move screens. So hold on, I'll be right back. I'm looking. This is awkward. Okay, hold on. There we go. This way I can see the screens at the same time. So, all right. So, Nicole, tell everybody what you do. And I really want to get into it with you, not only what you do and how important it is for people, but a little bit about, you know, running of your own business and how it is.
Okay. So what do I do? Okay. So since 2011, that's when I started this. And now, you know, a small we we do branding and web design and development. Those are like our main services, our bread and butter. About half of our clients are interior designers. My first client ever was an interior designer, and over time that led to other interior design clients. And at some point I was like, oh wait, I should embrace this and get into it. Yes. And because I don't know, anybody who's watching, like, for some reason, niching is scary before you do it. And then after you do it, you're like, why didn't I do that a long time ago? Everything is easier and better.
You know my thing, niche is rich and broad is broke. That's what I said on one of my podcasts, right? And it really is true.
If you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. Yeah, nobody. All of that. Yeah. Right. So it's been really good. And then I also enjoy working with, the other half of my clients. It's just a variety, everything from like pharma to restaurants and recreation to municipalities. And I really do like having that variety as well. So we also do print design. I come from an illustration background, so we do custom illustration a little bit. I have one client that we do a lot of illustration for because it's part of their visual branding. That's a restaurant and brewery.
I can't
whatever. You guys, beer. There's beer.
Right. Somebody makes beer.
Somebody makes beer. It's delicious. So yes, that is what we do. And then we also do some, we help clients out with, email marketing, automation stuff, and content marketing. And we wrap some SEO work into our projects, into our builds. So.
Okay, so
let's help a little bit ongoing with that. Mm-hmm.
How do you start out branding somebody? What is your process?
So our process is we start with discovery. We start pretty much any project unless we're, doing something through a marketing company that's like above us, in the project. We always pretty much start with discovery. So that is a standalone service. It is, basically, I compare it to you hiring an an architect to make the plans before you actually go build the thing. So
how important is that?
Well, yeah, interior designers know, right? So it is, it's 4 meetings. It's pretty in depth. Basically, the way that we define a brand for someone. All right, so I just did a long talk about this yesterday, but I kind of divide it into three things. So you've got your brand voice. We talk about that. You've got your visual branding. Do they need visual branding? They don't always. Sometimes it's existing. Sometimes it just needs some tweaks. And then you've got your messaging, the meat of the thing. So the way that we get the messaging is by asking like 6,000 gazillion trillion questions and getting all of those answers and then looking for the gold within those answers. So not every answer is going to be, when we're asking, like, for example, what kind of problems do you solve for your clients? Like that would be an example of one of the questions we would ask. Sometimes the answer is going to be like, oh, well, that's a point of differentiation. That's something that we can.
So you're looking for distinguishing factors of that person and their company.
That is what we're looking for. So like if they say, an interior designer, well, we make homes beautiful, then that is like, I don't know, kind of like the definition of what an interior designer, residential at least, is. So that's not something that we're going to use in our messaging because it's just sort of vague, but if they say something unique, then we might pull that into the messaging. And our goal with the discovery process, there are a lot of goals with it. There are a lot of deliverables that come out in the end, but the one thing that everyone always gets, because it's sort of customized to what the goals are of the whole process, but the one thing everyone always gets is messaging. So it's always 4 or 5, usually this is the way we do it. We do 4 or 5 bullet points of messaging that you get at the end that you can then disperse out into your web. It's what forms your web copy. If you're writing any copy, really, it's what you think about before you write. You need a little blurb for social media. Like, it just helps you with everything. It's the foundation of everything. It makes, like, we do copywriting, but we just go back to the messaging that we created in the discovery process, and then it's just so much easier. We're just plugging it in, basically.
Yeah, I can see that. We had talked last week, and I had told you I had used a different company, Braid. They had done Brennan Brown when I did my rebranding.
Yeah,
they're awesome also. And one of the things, the questions they asked me, which I thought, actually 2 things come to mind. If you were having a dinner party and you could only invite 5 people, who would you invite? And why? And I'm like, that's so interesting. And as I was trying to wean it down to just 5, I was able to really figure out why I wanted each of them. And that was starting to connect with something in me that I also like to portray and I aspire to. Like there was something in their personality that pulled a lot out of me that I didn't even expect. So that was a really cool exercise. And then the other exercise they did was rant about a bad client.
Oh, that's so interesting.
I was like, really? Like, over a live meeting, rant about a bad client.
Don't mind if I do.
I'm like, is this being recorded?
Right.
Like,
I've been wanting to talk about it. Yeah. So what was the intention with that as far as branding goes?
The intention with that was really to get down to what I don't want to attract and my true voice unfiltered.
Oh, wow. That's so good.
And I was like,
that's so good.
And really, when I did it, which I'm not going to do it now, it was like, wow, like I really do know what bugs me, let's say, as a coach when I'm trying to work with somebody, because I was ranting about the same thing. And that really, I guess, helped them. I like that. To me, what you guys do is amazing. How you pull out this from the questions you ask, how you see patterns and really pull out the personality and how I want to present is just incredible. I think it's a real talent what you guys do. It's
fun. It's fun. You can't. Thank you. It's fun. Thank you for saying that also.
Because I can't. I mean, I could get to the bottom of some things, but I can't get to the bottom of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you another thing that helps us is we ask for contact information. Once we start talking about, ideal client, target client, like the ones that you really want to work with, whoever you are, whatever business this is, we ask for contact information for two of them, two good clients, the kinds that you would want to like work with over and over again. And we talk to them for 15, 20 minutes. And the stuff we get from those people, from the client's client, is gold. Like so much can come from that, because I can ask my client, the business owner, all day long, what they think is good about what they offer. And sometimes they're missing a few things. Sometimes they don't realize what people really value. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, we do have some yeah. And then also we pull a testimonial on it. We'll be like, hey, can we use your words? And then we have a testimonial, which is always nice. But yeah, we ask things like, if you could have a celebrity spokesperson, who do you think it would be? And like stuff like that can actually like really reveal a little bit about the personality, especially brand voice. And it can also help with visual branding, trying to understand.
I like that. Who would it be? Yeah.
What's your answer, Nancy?
I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out. And they did ask me some type of celebrity question, and I couldn't answer it. They asked me like, I think it. No, because I'm not really.
You were like, I'm the celebrity, okay? I'm the celebrity.
No, you know what? I'm not starstruck. Like I could see someone in a airport, and it could be like the most famous, unless it was like a Barbara Streisand type level. I'm showing my age now. I would just be like, so what? And plus, I'm like, they're people too, and I don't want to bother them. Like I'm not a starstruck person. So I think it was something like, who would you want to play? Oh, that was it. Who would you want to play you in a movie?
Oh, interesting.
Like, or some of your own life. And I'm like, yeah, shit, nobody. Like, nobody would want to live my life again. No. But I couldn't think of an answer. I really was like, done with that one. How do you get to people's like colors and their style that they want?
By asking for examples of brands that they like. So I usually ask specifically for a couple brands that are within your sort of field, and then a couple brands that are most definitely not. And it's not just for, I'm asking for things that they like, and I'm asking what they like about them. And I am saying it could be that you like how the navigation is structured. It could be that you like the tone of the copy. Like I want to know just anything. So yeah, that's what I just asked for examples. And then honestly, it really comes to just the color exploration phase of visual branding. Like I will show them, they'll give me examples, but I'm not going to necessarily pull from that. I'll get an idea. It can help. Other times it's just a matter of showing them 5 very different color palettes and then going off in a direction and just iterating until we hit the right spot. So
you definitely must come up with a pattern of what they start being attracted to.
Oh yeah. As soon as you do the first round, you know a lot, so but yes, you do definitely. But as far as the examples go, yes, you do see a pattern of what people like immediately. Absolutely.
See, when and doesn't branding change over the years that you're in business? I feel like people feel like once I brand and I invest in that, that's going to be the last time I have to do it. But it's really not true. My first website was kind of, I don't know, it was like really a turquoise blue, and I think some of that stuff is still out there in the world. And I loved it at the time. I thought it was fabulous. And then years later, like Kaden is asking, what stage of your business is branding important? I then changed my mind. I thought that's not who I want to portray anymore. That doesn't feel good to me anymore.
So I'll tell you something. This is somewhat related to that, but I try and steer clients. You know how like last year, like everything was in that like inky brush scripts? You know what I'm talking about? It was like, so like I had a client that we were working on visual branding, and she was like asking about that. And I was like, you know what? Don't do it, because it's going to look so 2017. Like it's the same as anything else. You can't go too trendy, or it's going to look, it's like in 2 years, you're going to hate that. It's going to look dated very, very quickly. So we try and think about those things when we're branding. Now, we can't help it if you are like, I used to like turquoise, but now I don't. But I will say this, I take it rebranding, I take it very, very seriously. Like, I mean, when you build up recognition, like that's like literally worth money, you know, like you can't just like, you do want to brand once and keep it for a long time. You do. And I know, like I have clients, how long? As long as you can stomach it, Nancy.
Because all right. So as soon as you're sick of it, then everyone else is too.
No, that's the thing. Like I have clients where they're like, we had a conversation recently with, you know, they're like, they want to switch things up a little bit, and you can switch things up to a certain degree, but people are not getting sick of your branding in the same way that you are. Like, you just want them to recognize it so that they can think of the actual things that are important and be reminded of who you are and all of the good emotions that you know, the services that they understand, all of that stuff. It's just a mental shortcut, you know, like, I mean, as the business owner, I know you're steeped in it, but like, maybe get over that, because, you know, once you've got strong, good branding, you're really just trying to get it out into the world and have people recognize it. Consistency is like literally the number one best quality that you can have in your branding.
I could see that. That. If you're like 2 years in, let's say you're brand new, is it worth branding right from the beginning, in your opinion?
Yes, but I understand that it's an investment to do it in the way, you know, so like there's real life, right? There's real life. So like maybe you do start with something, whatever you can pull together, and then later you really, you know, I mean, it's real life. Like, yeah, in a perfect world, would everyone have like a big budget to be like, yes, I'm going to fully brand and do the whole thing as soon as I go day one, you know, like, but that's not what happens. One thing that you can do if you put something together and it isn't, you know, as, you know, I don't know, well, finally put together as you would have wanted, and you're 2 years into business, what I would say is think about maybe you've got the budget now to go to someone, have them work with your existing branding and just make it better. Pull it together, but pull in 1 or 2 elements of the existing branding so that people still can recognize it. So if you're like, you know what, it's not great, but I do like this one color, you know, like keep that color, or like, I do like this font, but can you like pull this together and make it like a real thing, you know, like that way you're not losing all of that, that equity that you've built up.
Right. That people will still recognize you.
Right. If you've been out there, but if you have like no real online presence and no one's really been seeing it and you've just been, you know, doing your work, then, you know, maybe don't worry about it so much. It's really only if it's out there that you really have that sort of, you know, recognition.
Yeah. Gotcha. Now, what about professional pictures?
They're cool.
Are they necessary if you're going to invest in branding, like a branding company like yourself, is it worth having professional pictures done, in your opinion?
Yes. I mean, you'll use them for years, you know, like you invest once and you use them, you're not going to probably get another, it's nice to get a fresh set every couple of years, theoretically, but yeah, gosh, I can just think of clients who we did this with and how happy they were, you know, when to have like this beautiful, not just professionally shot, but like also like retouched. Well,
I have to tell you, I did. You know, some people don't approve of this, but I bartered for my photography.
Who doesn't approve of that? I'm having new ones shot soon with a barter. Yeah.
Totally. If you can barter, I've read a couple of places like don't barter. I bartered, and he was in the past, excuse me, in the past he did like model photography, and I'm no model, but now he does interiors. And I was like, listen, you know, older gentleman, and I was like, you know, would you come over to my house? And he was so like, well, what exact shots do you want? And what do you want to have in your hand? Do you want to have a book? Do you want to have a phone? Do you want to have a computer? And I'm like, like, yes, to all those things. And
props.
He spent, I want a lot of props. I wanted all different locations. He's like, well, how's the lighting? I'm like, I have no idea. Like, literally, the poor man came blind. I'm like, I had 2 different outfits sort of picked out, but I'm like a pain in the ass that way. I hate pictures of myself, as most people do, right? They're critical. In the end, he shot so many and sent them to me in a Dropbox, and I never even asked him to touch up one. I was literally happy with the raw, which maybe I should have had him touch up, but I'm not a perfectionist. I just thought, wow, like that's the prettiest I really ever looked, ever. So
and the lighting was good. The lighting was good, so it was like a good
It was a good day. It was like
Yeah.
a mildly sunny day. So he didn't even have to
Yeah.
have a lighting. And we just walked all over the house. I think my main picture is the one with my dog, which gets the most, um, which was an off the cuff shot because my dog wanted to
That's
come up on me. So that's the way it happens, right?
That's not the first time I've heard feedback like that about pictures with like dogs. Seriously, like that is a thing. Absolutely. And actually, I went to I went to a digital persuasion seminar thing last year, and they were showing us data on props, on like basically like this has been studied, and the picture where the doctor in the image has a stethoscope, this is why you see stuff like this in ads, has a stethoscope around his neck, is more persuasive. It's more, people trust it more. So for you to have props that relate to what you do is actually a really positive thing. So
there's a tip, guys. I hope everyone's taking notes. Have props.
And it's tough, right? Because are you gonna have like fabric swatch it? Like you don't want to make it like corny, obviously.
Well, that's the problem. I think if you over plan,
right?
Sometimes, hi Melissa, and Caden was saying before. Caden's my one of my assistants, and he's my son, and he was here to make me laugh because I was like, I'm going to have this fake smile. It's not going to be genuine. I'm a real pain in the ass when it comes to pictures. So it was great to have him here because he was trying to make me laugh, and it worked. But it's important on a website to have the best picture of yourself that you can, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. And I mean, it's all over social. Like, it's just, once you have it, like I said, you'll use it for a couple of years. You feel good about it. And it's worth it. It's worth it. And I mean, there are ways, what?
I'm laughing at Emily's comment. I'm grabbing my scale right now. Is that your prop, Emily, for your photo shoot?
What does she do for a living?
She's a designer, but like my Andrea too. My dog is in my profile shot, and people always mention it. Same as me. So
see,
presentable, right? Doesn't that make you presentable? Like,
it makes you like easy, approachable. It makes you approachable. Yeah, like you're a human being. You're not like, you know. Hey, Darla.
I have a dog. Hi, Darla. Hi, Julie.
Yeah.
I have a dog.
Darla, we're talking about posing with. Yeah. No, Darla has a picture of herself with a dog, right, Darla? Hi.
Me too.
Yes. Yeah. Woohoo! People with. I don't have any pets myself. I have kids.
Oh, you need to get a dog just for the photo shoot. I carried my own. Wait, no, don't get a dog. I love my dog, but you kind of get tied down where you can't travel.
Dogs
Jennifer said I carried my own dining chair to my photo shoot and carried it in wheels the old town near my study. Oh my God. And so what we do for great pictures is crazy. An architectural scale and a red pen, my weapons, I mean tools. Okay, good. Okay.
Nice. Dogs are better
than kids.
I mean, you could definitely like make arguments for and against kids and dogs. Yeah, totally.
Definitely. Okay, so now on a website, what should people be? We talked about branding, and if they have to do it themselves, some of the things that they can think of when they're doing it. And one of the exercises I did, again, this was when I first started out, I'm thinking, I didn't want to pay for anything. I upped my own site. It was horrible, but it did the job. It didn't stop me from doing business. That's for sure. And when I rebranded, one of the interesting things they also said is kind of go onto Pinterest and find fonts you like, find colors you like, and put it in a private. And you can really get lost in that. But then you can really pick out the bad eggs. Like, well, why did I pick pink? I'm like not a pink person. And suddenly there's something pink in there. So they were able to really hone in. But they saw patterns that I never saw. And that's what you guys are so good at.
Yeah, I mean, as we both work with interior designers a lot, and it's actually like kind of a similar process to what they do. You need to, when another person describes like, oh, I like, you know, every designer can relate to this. Every graphic designer can relate to like, I like clean design, you know, like, oh, good. Okay. So everybody, you know, like everybody like, I love white space. I've had clients who said that they loved white space. They did not love white space. They did not. So yeah, so everyone describes things differently. So that's why the examples are helpful, because you can tell me that you like, you know, I don't know, whatever, earthy colors or whatever, and your idea of earthy colors might be different, or you might want a lot more white space with those earthy colors, or whatever it is. So examples are really helpful.
Definitely. Okay, so the website itself, what's important for people to know?
About websites?
Yeah, like what they should have definitely on their website. Yeah, like what are there tabs you always recommend, or are there things that people are missing?
I'll tell you what they should have: a plan for traffic to the website. But that is another
that's
issue.
Another whole conversation.
That's another thing.
That's what I help them with too. But traffic is key, guys, to get a new business.
Yes.
You have to have traffic on an ongoing basis.
It does not. But so what should they have on the website? Okay. So it really depends on. All right. It depends obviously on like what they do, what the business is about, but I'll tell you what they should have. So if you are like a service-based business that serves a certain area, I will tell you that the number one thing that I constantly see is people not saying where they are. And you wouldn't even, I mean, you would not believe how common it is. I go to websites, I do website reviews for people, and I'm like, I don't know where you're located. I don't know where you're located. And not only
especially if you're an interior designer or if you're a location based, but like, I don't think I have where I'm located because I'm national coach.
Yeah, you don't need to. Or even an interior designer that does e-design, they don't need to either. But for a designer who works locally, like it should be on your homepage that number one, that you are an interior designer. So these are the things that it's kind of amazing, that are very common mistakes. So, I will get to it. Sorry. So let's talk about interior designers for a moment. Everybody's different.
You're like, I have so many things to say.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the business. But with interior designers, because I work with them so often, I spend so much time looking at websites, I can tell you it is very common to have a big, pretty image on the homepage and nothing else, literally nothing else. No tagline, no mention of what they do. You can tell what they do because maybe it says interiors in the logo, right? Okay. That's the only clue. No mention of where they work, and certainly no mention of what makes them special. If you are looking at 3 different interior design websites, what's the value proposition? What's different about this particular one? Give them a reason to call you. Give them something. Right. They want a reason. That's all they want. They just want to make a decision. So. That is I would say, to answer your question, what's important on a website, explaining what you do, where you do it, and why you are different than the other options that they are looking at.
That sounds like my exercise, Your Business in Words. That's what I do. I teach them what's special about them. Well, I put it into 4 sentences. No, I have a real frog in my throat. So 4 sentences that describe who you are, your adjectives that describe you, right?
Yeah, your exercise is amazing. Yeah, I just found out about it through Luann's podcast.
Oh, okay.
When she did that roundup thing, so I went back and listened to her. Yeah,
Your Business in Words helps you define who you are, who you help, how you help them, so they can imagine working with you. And I have done this with hundreds of the designers, hundreds of business owners, and believe it or not, none of them have ever been the same. The one word I don't let them use is creative. I'm creative. Okay, you're all creative, so I never let you use that. But I just say, what would your friends say about? I guess it's a little bit of a branding process, right? What would your friends say about you?
Oh, yeah.
What would your clients say about you? And I do go to testimonials like you, and I look at them and go, did you know? Oh, Kaden just put in that particular exercise. It's free, guys. If you haven't defined yet who you are, who you serve, how you serve them, where they can picture working with you, and then how excited you all get when it's done, go click on there. It's free, and it's a little exercise. But so you're talking on a website, a term that some people may know, others may not, above the fold.
Oh, yes.
Before people have to scroll down, there should be not just a pretty picture, but a message of some kind that says who you are.
Yeah, I mean, like there's data on this, on how quickly people leave websites if they don't understand what it is, what's happening, So yes, above the fold. Now, of course, what is the fold? with responsive design with mobile. What is the fold, man? I don't know. It varies, but you know, like it's not like it used to be in like 2008 when you could be like, this is the fold for everybody. But in general, right below your navigation. Another common mistake I see is top navigation taking up like on a laptop, like 50% of the screen, like a big giant logo, and so that you're not seeing any of the stuff until you start scrolling. And that's not great either. It's just a waste of space. You want to like get into the meat. People want to like, you know, see the big picture. You don't want to have to scroll to see like the bottom half of your big, beautiful picture.
So that's like prime real estate, as we would call prime real estate. The minute they get to your website, they should have a way to know who you are, what you do, and click on something that can get them even more information, right?
Right. So that brings up the next point. Thank you. Totally. A call to action. So like every page, like literally every page should have something. Hey, Dave.
You're a rock star.
Love you. No. So every page should have something to do, someplace to go, you know, so, and that includes a service page. That includes a portfolio page. In a perfect world, you should have, you know, like, all right, so you've taken them down a path. So like you're on the home page. Now, where do you want them to go? Maybe it's 2 choices, you know, maybe you have 1 choice for the people who are returning to the website and are just like kind of like ready to do the thing. And then you have another choice for the people who are, you know, just starting to explore your stuff. So maybe it's for them to go look at your services or your portfolio if you're an interior designer. And then once they get to the portfolio pages, make it easy for them to actually hire you or, you know, like contact you. Or secondary call to action would be signing up for your email list. So you can give them those 2 options, not to start getting into too much stuff here, but.
How do you feel about pop-ups?
As a human or as a marketer?
As a web designer, do you recommend that before, when they start heading for the X, they get a pop-up that says, wait, did you sign up for my free something, or do you want to be on my email list or my newsletter?
Yeah. So like I think at this point, so it used to be that you would have to be like, you know what, everybody hates pop-ups, but they convert really well. So like maybe we should have one, you know, we would install pop-ups for that reason. But now pop-up blindness is a thing. Like they're not even as effective anymore. So what we like to do typically, like our kind of like signature move right now is the click to pop-up. So when it's just like really good for user experience. So like, for example, we're doing a lot of like in the top area, a button that says, you know, that's, you know, some sort of intriguing call to action. You click on it, the pop-up comes up, and it's got the form embedded in there. So you're not even leaving the page. You've done the soft yes, you know, you've done the soft yes. You've clicked once. You're halfway. I mean, you might as well just fill it out at that point, right? Come on. So like, it's good. It's very convenient for people. It works on mobile too, and that you're giving the control to the user, so they don't feel like grossed out and like someone's impeding on what they're doing. Before we were, I think you did say this, the like an exit intent pop-up, is that what you were referring to, like when you're about to leave?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's what we were, so we never did timed pop, where it was like you just get to the page and it pops up before you can read anything. That was always awful. Or even like you've been there for 1 minute, because you just can't predict. Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good. So we did exit intent, like you said. So like people are done reading. We know that because they're heading out. But even that, we don't really do that anymore, because people just exit out of them right away. They don't even look at them. They don't even see them anymore.
Hi, PJ. Hi, Sherry. Yeah, I don't look at them anymore either. I literally don't even read them. I just click out of them. And believe me, I was to my web designer, who I think is watching. I was like, should we have a pop-up? But I'm thinking, oh, I hate pop-ups. And you know what I hate too? We're going to go real. I freaking hate music. It's so old, music on a site, but still people have it. Yes, I hit a couple the other day. I'm not going to reveal, but I was like, really? Oh my God. I feel like I'm in an elevator, the dentist chair. I don't know what. I was like, oh my God, I got to get off this website. Nothing turns me off more.
That's like abusive. That's messed up. Seriously, because like you could be anywhere. Like you could be anywhere and this music comes on. Yeah, that's not right. I mean, for the most part, people don't do that anymore. But yes, if anyone out there is doing that, it's time to just retire it. It's no one wants it. They're not like, oh, what a lovely experience.
Right,
This website
right.
is
Let me just sit
amazing.
here and enjoy the music. I'm
Yes.
like, could you do that? Could you put on some, recent music for me so I can enjoy
Yeah.
it? Let me just
Right,
say
right,
hello to a
right.
few people. Hi, Mark. Good stuff. Yeah. Oh my God, I really do hate the music, Mark. Okay, Lori, I hate pop-ups.
You click out
Yes,
immediately. You click out immediately.
you
Totally,
do.
right? That's what we all do. You
Yep.
don't even read them. It's not like you're stopping to be like, what is it? And then you have those ones
Yes.
that are like passive aggressive, which I know are somewhat effective, but like, do you want this thing? No, I hate good information. Those ones that are like,
I know, I
oh,
know. Well, fine, if you don't want it and you just don't want to
right.
do more business than you do
Right, yeah.
today, really?
No, I'm a
Yeah.
terrible person. You have to like click that to get out of it. It's really obnoxious. Although, oh my gosh, I did come across one the other day that actually grabbed me. It was
Oh
it was
no.
no, it was it was it was like the background was like Ryan Gosling, and it was like, yes, the answers were like yes, Ryan Gosling, and no, Ryan Gosling, and it was actually like it jumped out at you.
I actually
Maybe
like
because I'm
that. That would be
female.
good.
It was funny. It was like actually funny. Like, yes, Ryan Gosling. No, thank you, Ryan Gosling. Yeah, it was it was really, really good.
That is
That was
unique. I
for
like that.
it was for a book that I just reviewed for Blueprint Magazine for ASID, and it was Recipe for Press, the Interior Designers Edition.
Yes.
So
I
it's
have
her.
her
It's
on.
her website. You've seen it or you've heard of it?
I did a joint
Oh, you had her
yeah,
on? No way. Amy
yeah,
Flurry?
dude. I had Amy and I did a joint webinar together, and I think she
Stop
did one of my
it.
weekend wind downs. She's great. I
No
love her.
way.
And it was
Yeah.
right before she was releasing the new book.
The new book. Okay.
The
Yeah.
new book, and she had a revision of the old book. It was great. Wait, let me just go back for a second. Yeah, Diana is my web designer, and she said music is the worst. I know. See,
Amen,
that's why I didn't
Diana.
ask you.
Amen. Yeah. Yeah.
You liked my website, right? You thought my website was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty. I had a nice
It's
big, and
beautiful. Yeah.
we
It's
put.
beautiful. It's easy to navigate. It makes sense. Yeah, totally.
I have the calls to
Nice,
action
Diana.
above the fold, and Katya. So you shouldn't put Elvis music. No, please don't. No, 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 no,
Oh my
no.
God. Like, does
Oh,
that violate
yeah.
copyright laws or something? Probably.
He might actually. What is the
It
book
might.
again? ASID? I missed what you said.
Oh,
Recipe
so
for Press.
Recipe for Press by Amy Fleury, and she has a general recipe for press. That one I have not read, but she has a designer's edition, which I did.
Yes.
I reviewed it for, so there you go, Recipe for Press. So it's for Blueprint Magazine for for ASID. That's what I was reviewing it for. But the book is Recipe for Press, and it's great. It was really good, and Amy's been lovely.
She's great. She did. I'm a national board member of the IDS and the president of the virtual chapter. When I first met her was years ago. She did a presentation there, and she was giving out that press wheel where you could say what month you're currently in.
Genius.
Genius. Oh, I wonder if I still have it here. I should find it. It was genius. So it says, okay, we're currently in the month of March. What articles should you be submitting for consideration to magazines? And it's like 3 months ahead, but it tells you all the details that you need, and it rotates. It's fabulous. Love it.
Yeah, she's clever. So anyway, Ryan Gosling pop-up. Her. It was her. Yeah.
Diana, I want a Ryan Gosling pop-up. Maybe I'll pick somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do your own thing, but yeah, like it was great.
Oh my God, that is genius.
Yeah.
All right. So pop-ups.
So the exception to the pop-up rule. Yeah.
Music we discussed. So let's talk about whether you should have a separate, if you have a press page or if you have a portfolio. Like I see all different methods, right? So you have the top banner and then you have like drop downs from there, or you have all separate. Like, is there a rule of thumb, or is it just a matter of how many tabs someone has? You just have to make it look acceptable.
So the rule of thumb is actually like the fewer the better, because of, again, this goes back to data, it goes back to studies on this, that when you have a lot of choices, people choose nothing. It's just one of those things. When you have I like to aim for like 5, but that's a random. I mean, sometimes like when we're doing like a municipal site, we sometimes we have like 10, you know, like, but, and then with like crazy huge mega drop downs that have like pictures in them and stuff. Like it really depends on what you're talking about, and how, if it's a product that's like, you're selling one product, like you should have like literally like just the link to buy it, you know, but for an interior designer, generally we end up at like 5, you know, it's going to be like, and then there's the great debate, to put the home or to not put the home in the top navigation.
I know.
Right? I mean,
what is your opinion on that?
My opinion is it depends on your target audience. If they are older, then you want probably, I'll say this, if they are older and you've got the room for it, you know, like sometimes I'll just take it out because we have too many things already. And it also depends what's on the homepage. Like, do we really need them to get back to the homepage, or is all the action going to happen on other pages? Are we trying to get them off of the homepage and onto, you know, the service page or the contact page?
I kind of want to know your definition of older. That's what I want to know. You're like,
thanks, Nancy. I'm getting some static.
That's okay. I'm just
on
teasing
the line.
you.
Yeah.
Right. Can't hear you right now. Sorry.
The storm is. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know,
it's
I don't
true
know.
though. You know what? I don't know either, because I don't know. I think it's age, and it's how computer savvy you are.
It's
you know?
true. Cause that's, yeah. I mean,
because I'm like extremely computer savvy, you know, Nicole, and I am older than you. No, I'm just kidding. I am older than you.
Let's talk about
that. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, it does. I mean, you could be like,
I have a homepage.
You of course have a homepage.
No, I mean,
Wait,
I know
what?
I have a homepage, but I can't remember if I have a tab that
yeah.
says home.
Right.
Do I have a homepage?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, whatever. But yeah, so like, I mean, I would be interested to know what Diana thinks as far as like, Diana, you're there. What do you think? Home or not home on the top nav? Heather Bates has the designer book. Does she like it?
And I think Ian is Ian still here? He's a web designer too. No, I don't see Ian here anymore. But now I'm really messing up my screen here. Yes, homepage or no homepage? No, I don't have a home. I mean, I have a homepage. That's where you come to.
Right, but it's not in your.
Right, but it's not in my navigation.
Yeah,
I have work with Nancy, weekend wind downs where I put these up, etc.
The average person, the typical person, knows to click on the logo to get home. You know, I mean, that's like pretty standard. What is confusing is when you go to a website. No, okay, there you go.
No.
What is confusing is when you go to a website and this is usually with older websites, like an HTML site that somebody like built with their own 2 hands, you know, and the logo does not go to the homepage. That is like, you're like, what's happening? But for the most part, everyone's doing it now, so people are used to it.
Okay.
All right. It's obvious. Yeah.
It's obvious. Yeah. All right. What else do we need to know? What are the most common things you think are like big offenses? Oh, hi, Mary. That's my next door neighbor. Yeah.
Hi.
To Mary, I'm tech savvy, but I'm really not that tech savvy. but
you've got like the scale of like, you've got like Mark Zuckerberg, and then you've got like my in-laws on the other end. And, you know, we'll fall somewhere in between typically.
My boyfriend works for Microsoft. Trust me, I'm not tech savvy compared to him. Yeah. And my son is my tech person. So, but anyway.
That's nice that you have that in the house.
Oh,
so yeah, I mean, what are the biggest what the biggest problem? I mean, some
Whichever
of them
way
we've
you
talked
want to
about.
go.
Yeah, it's like, I think if you're not, in general, you have to think about the purpose of web design is literally to make it as easy as possible for a person to do a thing. You know, like you have to figure out the traffic to get them there. And then once you get them there, you just want to make it super, super easy for them to do the thing. So any way that you're getting in their way is bad. Music is bad because it makes them want to shut the whole thing down. You know, not having a call to action is bad because you're making it difficult for them. Little things like having a call to action color, like you should have one color that is all of the links, all of the buttons, anything that is action. Anytime you're getting someone to do anything, it should be that color. Nothing else should be that color. Headings should not be that color. You're confusing your user. They learn as soon as they get there, like, oh, I'm looking, they're not going to actually think this, but they're learning. I'm going to look for red when I want to do something. If you have red headings, they're literally going to try and click on them. Maybe. It's confusing. So you want to really you want to have one action color and be pretty strict about that. That is a user experience thing. So other things that make it, so, I mean, just if you, sometimes, all right, like I understand if you don't have an office and you don't want to have people contact, you don't want to post your address, right? Or you don't, but like whatever you can do to make it easy for people to contact you. So like for me, when I go to a website and there's just a contact form on like a sort of a service-based business, I'm like, oh, come on. Like give me,
just give me a phone number.
Like, yeah, like I need, yeah. And it depends on the type of business. And really, like I say that while also acknowledging, and because this means a lot to me, that we as business owners have a right to decide how people contact us and how we run our businesses. So I want to acknowledge that because that matters to me. Like if you want to have people schedule appointments, that's how I work typically. Like that's your choice. It's your life. It's your business. That being said, whatever you can do to make it easy for people. So that balance,
Okay.
Hey, Nancy.
Okay. Kaden is saying, how do you feel about using a program like ClickFunnels versus a website for certain functions? And there's more to that, but I can't see it. I find ClickFunnels way more effective in converting leads into clients versus a static website.
Versus a static website. Well, I think as long as you're driving the traffic to your website, like as long as you're taking them through there, I would say, and you're getting their email address, I would say there's nothing wrong with using ClickFunnels. And Nancy, so he's asking because you've had great success with ClickFunnels, right?
I love ClickFunnels. My website's not ClickFunnels, but all my landing pages, all my coaching clients sign up through a ClickFunnels page. It makes it easy. And I got a comment back from somebody who did the reduced cost strategy call with me, and then they said yes, they want to coach with me. Sent them to a landing page, they clicked, and they emailed. That was the easiest onboarding I've ever had. And I'm like, you're an interior designer, I can do this. You can do this for your business too. Right? Before they get on your calendar, you send them a link to pay for the consult, which everyone should be getting a paid consult at this point. Anyone who coaches with me knows I say that, right? Send them a page in advance so that the consult is paid for, so you don't have that awkward, right? You can automate some of that in a way that just takes away those awkward moments of that back and forth email, right? And your calendar, everything can be automated. So,
so we do some automate. Yeah. So it's exactly, I mean, you're like a perfect illustration of it. Like you have a website that is your own thing that you own, that no one can take away from you, that, it's not, you're not beholden to ClickFunnels for your website, but you use those tools. And I think that's a great way to combine things. I mean, it's the same thing with we use ActiveCampaign a lot for email marketing. And you can do a lot of really fun automation with that. There's nothing wrong with integrating something like that into your website. Your website has to be your website, though.
But your website has to. Okay.
Yeah. I have. You don't want to rebuild the wheel.
One final debate that I want to have with you, because I don't know how you feel on this. We may agree. How do you feel about when it's all right, it's a one-person show, basically. They may have staff, and they say, we, our company, versus I.
Yeah. Okay. So people ask me this all the time, and my answer is always the same thing. Yeah. You should do whatever is true. Period. End of story. Whatever is true. Do not say we if you are an I. It comes across as not. You can smell it. You can tell. It doesn't feel right. But yeah, if you are a we, and so when you say if you're a solopreneur but you have staff, I mean that's two different things, right? So if they have staff,
I have staff, but I'm the business coach. They're dealing with me. They may get some emails from my support staff, but I don't say we will teach you how to make sales and make you more profitable.
Right? Because you're performing that action of
Right.
I can tell, for me, I mix up the I and the we. What is that? Is that a pronoun? I don't know things. Okay.
Somebody tell us if it's a pronoun.
See?
It's late and I'm drinking.
Right. I'm not a copywriter. I have a copywriter.
That's
so
good.
I mix it up because there are times that it is like you said, like I am performing an action. Like I am going to email that to you. I am going to get on, I do discovery. Like that's one-on-one with me, that whole thing. Will my assistant put together some of the stuff for it? Sure. You know? And like I will consult with my copywriter on working through the messaging. So on my website, I say we, because it is we. It's not me alone, you know? It's me and my developer. I'm not like building every aspect of the website anymore, you know? So whatever's true.
This is a debate, and Diana and I always have. So yes, I am a brand, and so I'm always I. But I still feel like if you're the point person for your clients, they want to know that they're dealing with you and you're still an I, even though you have support staff in the background.
So like, yeah, for me, like if I were to say, I like every time I had a communication about like, for example, we're developing a website. If I was like, I'll take care of that, that wouldn't be true. You know, like I am going to relay it to my developer and he is going to do it. So like,
so yeah, you know, so you're like my team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I don't typically, I guess I could say that, but like, you know, like we all have to like get used to these things, but like, but yeah, so it depends on the situation. Like I said, if I'm in discovery, it's all I, you know, it depends on like the action, whatever's happening.
Okay. Oh, there's always so much more to talk about. We went a whole hour. Do you realize an hour is almost up?
I had no idea. Seriously, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's 5:25 and it's still blustering outside here. So I want to make sure before. Heather says, I say hi and we, since I outsource team members. Allison, time went by too quick. Oh my God, Allison, you're so right. Hi, Melissa. Okay, so yeah, lots of people have been coming on and off. So please share the broadcast if you have entrepreneur real friends that you think this conversation would have been helpful to them. We talked all about branding and websites with my guest, Nicole. So Nicole, tell them where they can find you. And if Caden's not still on, when we're done, make sure you put your website in the chat box and, you know, connect with as many people as you can. Of course, if you're not going home.
I mean, in a few minutes, but yeah. So one day I'll get it home. So it's curioelectro.com, curioelectro.com. And, or you can Google Nicole Heimer and then you'll find me. And I will put my URL into the chat box and, I don't know, reach out if you'd like. I do a website review. So that is something that I offer as a lead magnet, you know, to just sort of like give you a taste of my services. So you can sign up and I will do a 5-minute screen capture video of just going through your website and just making some suggestions. No obligation whatsoever. It's just to let you know sort of like how I work and give you a little taste test.
Love that. Love that. And yes, we'll make sure that goes in the chat. Let me just go back a little bit because people are asking questions. Nancy. Hi, Nancy. I just signed on a few minutes ago. Can I replay this? Yes. Nicole, I don't know if
is that Nancy Connor?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Back. You had to go back a little bit. Yes, it lives on my Facebook personal page, my business page, Nancy Ganzikoff for Business Coach. And for anyone who is a actionable entrepreneur taking action to build your business every day, go into my private group, Actionable Entrepreneurs, because we're growing in there and I go live almost every day. I think I missed a few. Let me just go back because Heather was trying to say something. I try to go listen.
Nancy, I'll put it on my page as well.
Anything like this. Thank you. Yes, please do. So you can watch it on Nicole's page as well. I will do. Heather Bates said, okay, I was going back because I'm not sure what she said. Okay, Anna said, what is the difference of using ClickFunnels versus Acuity?
Big difference.
What is Acuity?
Between those. Acuity is a scheduling platform.
Scheduler.
I actually use Acuity.
Okay.
It's a scheduling platform. Yeah. So you can actually take payment through Acuity. It's a slightly fancier scheduling platform in that way. But ClickFunnels is a totally different thing. I mean, you can talk more about ClickFunnels, Nancy, because you use it. But you can create funnels. You can create sales funnels through it.
Yeah, that's another. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have my son on. I understand ClickFunnels, but he's the real ClickFunnels genius. But basically,
He's
it's
doing it,
bringing
huh?
somebody in. He's the one doing the work. It's we.
Yeah.
It's not I when it comes
That's what
to
I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
the
Right.
technology. But I don't do that for my clients. They have to do that. You know, they have to hire
Right.
somebody.
Right. You do that
They
for
want to do
yourself.
that
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, a funnel is basically where you bring somebody into getting their name and email address for something, possibly giving them something for free, and then you're working them through a series of pages where, well, if you got this for free, would you be interested in this? And then you can upsell and you can downsell, and it's a whole series. But for those coaches who are doing summits, or they're doing webinars like I do, or they're doing interview series and they're looking to get people's name and email addresses, my ClickFunnel pages, thanks to Caden, and my coaches who I coach, because I also coach other coaches as well as interior designers and creative entrepreneurs, when they take my advice and go to ClickFunnels, their landing pages, meaning the amount of time people are clicking, putting in their name and email address, convert at about 80-85%.
That is bonkers.
It's crazy.
That is like that. I'm like, I almost don't even believe you. That is so crazy. I do believe you, but
no.
that is crazy.
Oh my God. Trust me, if Caden's still on, there'll be a screenshot here in seconds.
Yeah. That says a lot for your. That says a lot for your copy too, though. It's not. I mean, that's not happening because of ClickFunnels. That's happening because you're writing good copy and because you have a good offer. I mean, it's all those things, and you're sending qualified traffic.
All those things, absolutely. And because I have a rock star, I'm supposed to call him, wait, I have it posted here. It's not a virtual assistant and it's not a ClickFunnels expert. I don't know what he wants me to call him, but he's the wind beneath my wings, and he creates great landing pages. And one of the coaches who coaches with me on how to up her business used Caden to do her landing pages. And I think that one converted at 90%. It was crazy. Mine have not done that yet. It was crazy. Also,
oh my God, I have to go look at your landing pages.
It just says you are watching, bring you onto camera, but you're already here. I just got this notification. Nicole Heimer is watching. Oh, maybe you went on your computer. Anyway, it's 5:31. Thank you so much, Nicole. I think this was tremendously valuable conversation for those who are listening. So everybody share. Oh, now Caden is watching. Okay, Caden, we just had this whole conversation about how the landing pages are converting at ridiculous rates.
I want to call Caden and be like, what are you doing over there, Caden? Yeah, I want to look at your landing pages. For them to convert a rate like that, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's awesome.
It is. My webinars particularly convert at like between, I think my lowest was 65%, my highest was 85%.
Where's the traffic coming from?
Well, believe it or not, I get reach out from doing these Facebook Lives weekly. I'm in my group all the time. I send out to my email list, which is quite active. And if I'm doing a webinar with someone, they send out to their list. So it's basically anyone who does click the link, gee, I'm kind of interested. 85% of them are converting to actually going into the landing page, which is huge.
So they're like somewhat warm traffic because they're coming from, they know you a little, they're not like dead cold traffic coming.
I have not gone out with a Facebook ad for a webinar. It has not been worth it. I did it in the past. And I just think it's a complete waste of money at this point. See, I told you if he was on, he would send you screenshots, and now he's back on. He's like,
Caden, I would like to talk to you for real. Yeah. No, so, I really do believe you. Yeah. I'd love to talk to you, Caden. All right. Well, that's awesome.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. A great guest.
All right.
Great topic. Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend. And I'm Nancy Gansicoff, your business coach.
Wow. How do I close this?
I'm going to shut you down.
Like, bye. And then, okay.
I'll shut you down. I'll do it right now.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I'm Nancy Gansicoff, a business coach for a weekend wind down with Nancy every Friday night at 4:30. Please share the broadcast if you found it helpful. And if you need my help to grow your business, become more profitable, and you're an interior designer, online coach, or creative entrepreneur, hop onto my business page, nancygansicoff.com, and click in for a reduced cost strategy call. I'll talk to you guys all next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.